It is indeed my pleasure to end up announcing the launch of the Bangalore Innovation Report. As T14 Capital from our side, we've been working on the Bangalore Innovation Report for a long period of time because we realize very few people actually talk about the innovation and the great amount of work that we end up actually doing. Bangalore has always been a city of substance. Several other cities who try to emulate us are actually cities of volume. They do very little, but they talk a lot. In Bangalore, we do a lot, we actually talk very little. Which is why this report ends up actually becoming the mouthpiece of all the innovation, of all the intellectual activity, of all the creativity that the city needs to end up actually offering. We have the highest number of unicorns on a per capita basis, which is basically there in the entire country or in the whole of Asia for that matter. In fact, 20% of all the people in Bangalore actually work in the software industry. If you add startups also into the mix, it goes up to 25%. We have more software engineers, we have more Bengali software engineers, Odia software engineers, Gujarati software engineers than those own states end up actually having itself. Bangalore is a place where everyone actually comes to because the two most important questions that any entrepreneur has is one, what do I start? Two, which part of Bangalore do I end up actually starting it off in? And we've actually seen numerous cases of entrepreneurs end up actually coming to the city to show, which actually showcases how well we end up actually doing. And in the journey of India also, I believe there are going to be, one of the slogans that when I was growing up, I often end up hearing is that the basic needs of a person is actually roti, kapda, makan. But in Bangalore, it's actually IT, DT, now DT. Information technology, biotechnology, deep technology as well. And for the rest of the nation, whatever ends up actually getting built, that building will happen from Bangalore itself. If you were to look at the most valuable piece of real estate that's there around, it's not camellias or whatever happens in Delhi and all those fancy places over there. It's actually your very own phone screen. If you just open the home screen of your phone as of now, you will find the impact that Bangalore actually has. You'll find the impact that Karnataka has. Most of the most common apps you use for payment came from Bangalore. Maps, etc., Google Maps was born in Bangalore. For ordering your food, Swiggy is actually from Bangalore. Entering into the stock market for that matter, Zerodha is also from Bangalore. Any single aspect of life, now Grow also for that matter is actually that. We have competition within that also. And even the software that ends up actually getting used to build that particular software was actually created in Bangalore. Now even the semiconductor verification and the chip design ends up actually coming in from Bangalore. There is no aspect of humanity that Bangalore hasn't actually touched. I think that is actually the greatest contribution that we as a city have actually made not just to the nation, but to the entire world as well. And it's not just about IT. If you look at it when it comes to life sciences also, people talk about computer vision, people in Bangalore will actually give people who can't see actual vision. People talk about actually deep learning and everything, Deep Creative amongst the largest edtech companies that end up actually getting created over there for that matter. If you look at, people talk about fast charging phones. There are companies in this city that can end up fast charging a bus in 10 minutes. It takes you 15 minutes to end up charging a phone to 80%. This can charge a bus to 80% within 10 minutes itself. That is the kind of innovation that the city actually brings. I think one of the most important parts that we're doing is Bangalore is not lopsided growth. I think kudos to the Karnataka government for actually championing this. They're not only looking at Bangalore, they're looking at the whole of Karnataka also. And in the span of this report, we spent immense amount of time speaking about the various other states and various other regions within our glorious state itself. You look at Mangalore, you look at Mysore, you look at Dharwad, you look at Hubli. All of these particular areas have their own innate strength. And a large number of investors also now, every investor would always come to Bangalore to make a beeline here to find out what's actually happening. The smarter investors from Bangalore are actually going all across Karnataka to find these particular companies, to end up actually incubating them, to end up actually investing in them and making them the kind of unicorns and giants that a country truly ends up actually deserving. And one of the things we've done, this is only a 60-page report. In fact, the research we have can actually go up to 600 odd pages. The biggest debate we had within the entire group was what can we include and what to end up actually excluding. And I think through testament to Bangalore, there were three important pillars that we looked at when we were creating this report. One is progressive. We wanted Karnataka is amongst the most progressive states in the nation. Fantastic set of policies. We create policies and more importantly, we put them to practice. They're not just lying on some table somewhere over there that people can download and end up actually seeing. It has a genuine impact on people's lives. And we've seen this in the high number of women entrepreneurs who end up actually getting up and starting up startups in Karnataka itself. We've seen this in the high inclusion of women within the workforce also. The second pillar we end up seeing is inclusivity. Bangalore and Karnataka as a state welcomes everyone actually coming in wherever. You can speak whatever language, you can speak whatever language, have whatever cuisine, listen to whatever music. You will end up finding people in Bangalore with that kind of kindred spirit. But I think it's important and respectful for anyone coming to Bangalore to respect the local culture, understand the local language, savor our local delicacies, and immerse themselves in truly what Bangalore has to end up offering. Third, I think this is the last part that I'm most proud of. Bangalore is among the most aggressive cities, aggressive in a good way, not aggressive the way some other people in some other cities end up actually acting, talking about mothers, fathers, and everything else when they're angry for that matter. We are aggressive in the right sense. If there's ever any idea, there's ever any innovation that has to be created, we will move heaven and earth to end up actually getting that done. People look at, as Prashant was actually saying, Bangalore doesn't look at solving the problems of the first 100 million others. We look at solving civilizational issues. Fast charging, when it comes to biotechnology, when it comes to battery and energy storage systems, when it comes to even using the implementation of AI, when it comes to legal aid, professional services, education, anything of the like, you will actually find a Bangalorean and you will end up actually finding a person who is educated, born or brought up within the glory state of Karnataka, playing a very, very strong role there. There are a large number of information that's actually present within this report. I'm very certain that once you put this report out now, this will end up actually changing the narrative of how Bengaluru ends up actually contributing, not just to our nation, but to the entire world. If Silicon Valley can build for the first 1 billion people coming to the internet, it is only going to be Bangalore that's going to build for the next 7 billion people who end up actually using that internet. So with that, I'd like to thank all of you, especially all the proud people in Bangalore, the people who come here. You are truly the people whose story this is. So long as you keep innovating, we'll keep investing in them, and we'll end up actually building that further. And with that, I'd like to hand it over to Mr. Naidu also to end up actually speaking a little more about this report.
Just to make one
to GDP on a per capita ratio basis. So all the stats I spoke about, etc., directly come from the report itself. Some of these are things we haven't published in this report, but we'll end up actually publishing in a future report also. So what is there is we'll make sure copies actually sent to you, and then we can end up actually going into some of these other details.
So you'll have the copy in another 5-10 minutes in your inboxes, or maybe it's already there. Anything else?
I want all of you to take it to heart, and the way you translate it to action is I want a full page on this report tomorrow in each of your papers. I don't know if that's a very big ask, but that's how important this is for the state and our city. So it's just a request. Thank you.